All right, my friends, we are continuing with needs and wants today. And today, I really want you to be watching or thinking, keeping in mind the idea of communities also, along with needs and wants. We're going to start talking more about communities next week. But the more we kind of start thinking community in our mind right now, the better we're going to learn things next week. In your packet of materials, you have a page that looks like this. Now, this page was created a little while ago, so I want to let you know this here is a device that plays music. It looks kind of like a phone. It's a device that plays music. This says water. So while it looks like a juice box, it's actually water. Apple, doll, coat. This is, vegetables here, some potatoes and carrots and tomatoes and corn, a sailboat, a bicycle, a sock, a basketball. Down here we have a nice warm hat, a car, a watch, a rocking horse, and a house. So, boys and girls, I'm going to start playing a video. And while I'm playing that video, go ahead and get crayons or colored pencils, is what I have here, and start coloring your pictures. They don't need to be completely colored perfectly, but there's another video here coming up on needs and wants. And you guys really know needs and wants by now, right? This is the third day we're talking about it. So right now, you don't need to concentrate really hard on the video about needs and wants. You can kind of keep an ear open for it and glance up to the video from time to time while you're also working on neatly coloring your pictures.
Phew! Almost forgot my favorite bouncy ball.
Moving, Nutley?
Nah, I'm going on a great adventure to a faraway place.
That's a lot of stuff you're bringing.
I could be gone for years, Professor.
Really? Where are you going, Nutley?
On the map there. See the X? I want to explore what life is like way over there.
Nutley, I don't think you realize, but that tree is right over...
Explorers explore. I want to discover it myself.
May I make a suggestion, Nutley?
Only if it helps me get up.
Instead of bringing all the things that you want to have with you, I recommend that you only bring the things that you need. Do you know the difference between a want and a need, Nutley?
Sure. These bedazzled fuzzy tree slippers are definitely, absolutely, positively a need.
Actually, Nutley, they would be a want.
No, they're a need, Professor.
Sorry, Nutley, definitely a want.
They're a need.
A want.
Need!
Want! Maybe we should review the difference between a want and a need, just so we're both clear.
Good idea, Professor.
A need is something that you must have to survive. No, those would be something that you would like to have, but you can live without them. We call that a want.
Positive?
Positive.
Okay, fine. But I know I wouldn't survive without my lucky hat. That's a fact. Just the thought of not having it makes me shudder. Ow! I can live without my lucky hat.
Mm-hmm.
What about this?
Another want.
This? 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 This. Fine. Just tell me what I do need to survive.
Well, if you didn't have oxygen, you wouldn't survive.
Oxygen. Check.
And you need water to survive.
Oh, so glad you said that.
And you need a safe place to live.
There's a tree in that faraway place. I could stay there. It'll keep me safe from things that want to eat me.
Good thinking, Nutley. And you need food.
Right, food. Oh, silly me. I forgot food. Professor, may I borrow a dozen double chocolate acorn nut cookies?
For what?
You just said food is a need. I need double chocolate acorn nut cookies.
You want double chocolate nut cookies. But what you need is healthy food, like these acorns. That should do it.
One nut? Remember the part about being gone for years?
It'll do. I'm certain.
Cool beans. So, what other stuff do I need?
Well, let's think about this. Some of the things you need are things that people can sell you or give you. Those are called goods.
Like this acorn?
Exactly. And other needs are met when someone does something for you. That's called a service.
A service, huh?
Yes, like when someone helps you feel better if you are sick or injured.
Oh, like what Dr. Squirrel does for us.
That's right, Nutley. Nutley, where are you going?
To get the doc? You just said that she's in need.
Fortunately, Nutley, she doesn't have to be with you all the time. Just knowing she's there when you need her is probably fine.
Fair enough. Well, Professor, I think I'm ready to start my great adventure. In the days, months, years until we see each other again, I will hold you in my heart, Professor. But explorers must explore. Farewell. I'll send postcards.
Back already?
I think I know what you were going to tell me about my faraway adventure.
What's that, Nutley?
It's not that far away! But I did learn something.
Yes?
I need to learn a lot more before going on my next great big adventure. Starting with how to read a map.
Yes, Nutley. In fact, a good education might be one of our most important needs, because it helps us to get all of the other things we need.
You said it, Professor.
All right, guys, if you have been coloring neatly, it's possible that you did not get a whole lot of this colored because when you color neatly, it takes more time, right? You might have a little bit more done than I do, but you might not have it all finished, and that's okay. Go ahead to get your scissors now, and we're going to cut each of these out separately. All right, I want to point something out as you cut this out. Do you see how it looks like you really should cut on this line and also on this line here? You don't have to cut both of those lines. This isn't one where we need it to be exactly the right sizes. So if you just cut this way through it, that will work. But do make sure that they're each cut all the way. Now, if you line them up really carefully and you've cut them out just right, then you can cut out several all at once, just like that. And now I have them all finished up. Whatever you need to do, get all your pictures cut separately, and then get your red unit studies book. All right, boys and girls, so what we're talking about right now really is social studies, and so it goes here at the end, right? Remember here at the very first page, you wrote 3 things or 3 pictures of needs and wants, and now here we're at these pockets that we made yesterday. This is what those pockets are for. We're going to decide if these are needs or if they're wants, and we're going to actually put them into the pockets. So I'm going to get mine all the way open like this so I can slide things in. A house. This would be shelter. Now, do you know what? A shelter doesn't actually have to be a house. There are people who live in their cars. There are actually people who sometimes have to live outside in the woods. A long time ago, there were people who lived in caves. So shelter doesn't have to be a house, but really right now in our day, it's usually a house. And, you know, surviving, there's a difference between surviving for one day and surviving for years and years. We're going to be healthier for longer if we have a house to protect us, right? A rocking horse. Well, those are pretty cool. Those could get us exercise, and we do need exercise to survive. But this particular type of exercise, that's a want, isn't it? We don't have to have a rocking horse. Same thing with a watch. Now, this can be one of those tricky ones because really, if you're going to do very well in our society, you need to watch the time. But it's not truly something we have to survive, right? And sometimes we trick ourselves into thinking that the nice things and the good things are the things we really need to survive. And that's not true. Even a car. If we're being really strict about whether we need it to survive, we really don't. Lots of people, even here, live without cars. They walk a lot or they take the bus. A hat, however, if you're thinking about being outside in the wintertime, that's something you have to survive. Now, you don't have to have a fancy, expensive hat to survive, but you have to have a hat. A bicycle, though, you could walk. It's useful. Things that are wants, sometimes people get the idea that if it's a want, that means it's just kind of a bad thing or a silly thing or a frivolous thing. It can be good to have a bicycle, right? Especially there are some people who choose to bicycle around instead of driving their cars, and that's really good for the environment and it's good exercise, but it's still not really a need, so that goes in wants. However, socks, when it comes to the idea of shelter, your clothes is some of that shelter. Your clothes protect you. There we go, a basketball. This can be a good thing, right? But it's a want, it's not a need. Water, that is not a want, that's a need. Music player. Now, you really could say to have a good life, you need music. And we know this. People who, have grouchy lives, who don't have happy things, they don't survive nearly as long. But you can make music just by singing, can't you? We did that at the nursing home. You don't have to have a nifty music player. That's a want. Oh, a sailboat. My goodness. When you sail on a sailboat, you can understand some of Jesus' stories better in the Bible, and you get exercise, and you can learn about how wind can be strong even though we can't see it. Wants can be really good things, but they're still not our needs, right? I don't think anybody in our class owns a sailboat. We can survive with no sailboat, can't we? But vegetables are good things. They're not just wants, though, are they? You don't survive very long if you never have any fruits and vegetables. A coat, we talked about how our clothes are part of our shelter. Wants, a doll really is a want, isn't it? Because it's good to have toys, especially cuddly, snuggly ones that can help us feel comforted. Those things are helpful. They could help us survive, but we don't really need them to survive every day, especially not a doll in particular. You know, Sometimes when Toby and Seth were really small, we went to a school program where all the dolls were just little pieces of cloth tied together. So you really had to imagine them. An apple, now, it wouldn't actually have to be an apple to survive, would it? But we do need fruits and vegetables to have healthy bodies and survive. So that goes up here in our needs. So boys and girls, the picture you're going to show me, if you already took a picture of your colored pictures, that's great. Otherwise, what I want you to do you see how I can pull these out of the pockets just a little bit? Not enough to really show them all, that's okay. But you can pull them out just a little bit to show me that there are pictures in these pockets. Take a picture of this with the pictures pulled out just a little bit and then save them. Put them back inside your pockets like this. And probably if you press these down, it'll work just fine. If you want to, you can try to tuck the top in, but sometimes that can be a little tricky. So if you don't do that, that's all right. So boys and girls, there it is. This is what you send me today. Not a picture of the pockets like this, but a picture of the pockets so that I can see you have pictures of your needs and your wants inside of them. All right, we'll do more with this on Monday.